Tonight on Reporting Scotland, a 14-year-old boy is in hospital after being slashed in the face at a school in West Lothian.
Worrying. I'm frightened. No, I'm not frightened, but I'm frightened for my child.
Look, I'm not expecting anybody to be getting slashed in the school playground or in the school itself. Yeah, and it's very frightening. Also in the programme, a former resident of a care home run by Catholic nuns says she was sexually abused by a priest there. A man has admitted causing the death of 2-year-old Harlow Edwards by dangerous driving. Sliding into student life in style, the changing face of halls of residence. And the big clean-up of Scotland's shores gets underway. Good evening. A 14-year-old boy is in hospital with a serious facial injury after being slashed with a knife at St Kentigern's Academy in West Lothian. Revelations by BBC News in the past week that at least 400 children who lived in an orphanage in Lanark may be buried in unmarked graves have been followed by stories of abuse there by the Catholic nuns who ran it. A 23-year-old man has admitted causing the death of a toddler in Cooperangus last October by dangerous driving. A woman remains unaccounted for after an early morning blaze at her home in Inverness. A pensioner giving evidence at a double murder trial said the accused phoned him to say he had stabbed someone. A man has appeared in court charged with murdering a father of 3 in Paisley. The Liberal Democrat leader Sir Vince Cable has criticised the UK government for the effect that Brexit could have on Scotland. He says that in some areas the Brexit negotiations collide, as he put it, with the devolution settlement, and the concerns of Scotland must be respected. He's also come out firmly against a second Scottish independence referendum. With the party conference starting this weekend, our political correspondent David Porter spoke to Vince Cable.
Scottish Liberal Democrats, 21,000.
Election night this year and success for the Liberal Democrats, in Scotland at least. It was here they gained most of their seats, their Scottish tally going up from 1 MP to 4. Victory and a return to Westminster too for Joe Swinson, unseating the SNP's John Nicholson. 2 years earlier they'd been hammered, a backlash in part for their role in coalition government at Westminster. Now the Liberal Democrat leader believes his party has turned the corner in Scotland and is well placed to pick up more support. But on the key issue of the day, Brexit, he has concerns that Scotland is being marginalised.
The devolution settlement has to be respected, and there are points at which the Brexit process collides with the devolution settlement, and the devolution has got to be respected. I think one of the basic problems with the whole Brexit negotiation is that the Conservative government blundered into this without any preparation, any thoughts, any understanding of the complexities, and of course Scotland together with Wales presents a distinct challenge, and the devolution settlement must be respected.
And on that other fault line of Scottish politics, independence, a very clear message on a second referendum. It's simple: no.
My party believes this is unnecessary. The debate has already been had. I mean, we are arguing for a referendum on Europe, but the context is rather different. We're not arguing for a second referendum. We're arguing for a first referendum on the facts.
But no second independence referendum for Scotland?
We don't support that, and we think it's unnecessary.
This weekend, as the Liberal Democrats gather for their conference in Bournemouth, they'll be pleased to be back in the media spotlight once again. But they know that means they'll also be the subject of more scrutiny. David Porter, Reporting Scotland, Westminster.
And we'll be speaking to other political leaders in the run-up to their party conferences. The Liberal Democrats may not have had a contest for the leadership, but the Scottish Labour leadership election is hotting up this weekend with the launch of the 2 competing campaigns. Richard Leonard will make his pitch tomorrow, but Anna Sarwar is first setting out his stall at an event in Glasgow tonight. Our political editor, Brian Taylor, joins us from the venue for that launch. What are the 2 candidates offering then, Brian?
Yeah, it's a serious contest. The nominations close tomorrow. I expect it'll simply be those 2 contenders. We'll hear tomorrow from Richard Leonard here in Glasgow, he's setting out his stall based upon what he says is no longer just simply managing, offering to manage Scotland better than the SNP. He says Scotland requires a socialist transformation involving workers' power, public ownership. He's perhaps, he is undoubtedly the candidate of the left, the candidate most closely associated perhaps with Jeremy Corbyn. Now, Anas Sarwar will launch his campaign very shortly at the parish church in the Gorbals, in Glasgow's Gorbals here tonight, right in the heart of Nicola Sturgeon's constituency. Incidentally, no accident. Anas Sarwar says he is parking his tanks on Nicola Sturgeon's lawn. He says he's not interested in the conflicts and contests of the past in the Labour Party. He was previously critical of Jeremy Corbyn. He now supports him. He says that what counts is having the experience, the ability and the capacity to replace the SNP in government in Scotland in order to bring about justice and fairness. One of his offers will be to increase child benefit in Scotland. Another little line from Mr. Sarwar's speech tonight. He'll talk about his family coming to this country from Pakistan. He'll say his hero is his mother, because he says she has continued to campaign for the Labour Party despite enduring racist abuse down the years.
And just remind us, Brian, who exactly the electorate is for this contest, because it's not always simple, is it?
No, in the past it's been an electoral college of a range of groupings. It's one person, one vote, but those derive from different forms of link to the Labour Party. There's around 21,000 or so members of the Scottish Labour Party. They have one vote each. There are affiliates, several thousand more, who affiliate to the party mainly through the trades unions. They have one vote each. And then people are able over the next few weeks to register as supporters of the Labour Party, paying a relatively small fee. That could be core in this contest. Both sides will be keen to register supporters, of course, to register supporters on their side. Most people expect this contest to be tight and to be very toughly fought indeed.
Brian, thank you very much indeed. Scottish NHS workers have joined forces with their UK colleagues to ask for a pay rise and additional payment. 14 trade unions will call for wages to increase by 3.9% and to receive an extra £800 to make up for what they say has been a 15% pay cut in recent years due to inflation. First Minister Nicola Sturgeon announced last week that the 1% pay cap on public sector wages would be scrapped, but said any wage rises would need to be affordable. Once upon a time, student digs were rather basic and sometimes what we used to call a bit grotty. Rail passengers between Glasgow and London are still facing disruption after a fire near Euston Station last night. It's the most popular indoor sport in Scotland for spectators, attracting thousands of people to matches every week. They're dramatic, varied, and many of them are admired around the world. But there's a problem with Scotland's beaches, and that's litter. A quick reminder of tonight's main news. 29 people have been taken to hospital following a terrorist attack on the London Underground. A device exploded on a District Line train at Parsons Green during this morning's rush hour. And that's Reporting Scotland. Alistair Fraser will be here with the headlines at 8 and the late bulletin just after the 10 o'clock news. From me, a very good evening.